Strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
Welcome back, Keepers. My name is Jack Phillips, and to the left of me is the incorrigible
Gabrielle Dolan.
Do you know what the word incorrigible means?
No, it sort of, I don't know, it sounds like an insult.
It's not an insult, but it means you're naughty.
Okay. All right.
So
I'll
she
take
owns
that.
it.
I'll own that. I'll own it. Anyway, good attempt at doing the intro, but forgot this is Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
Just
Okay,
never get it
whatever.
right, do I? Never
just,
get it
just
right.
let me do this from
Care
now on.
factor zip.
Yeah, focus on your strengths and your weaknesses. My strength is actually getting
Me.
the intro right. Yeah, whatever. Okay, but you can still reach your potential.
You can see. This episode is called Unlocking Potential, specifically your potential. We think it's going to be a gem.
I know, and we this came about because we were asked by a client to do a live podcast.
Love it.
And one of the things we suggested was a topic around unlocking potential, and so we did this live podcast. So again, keepers, if you want to bring us in to do a live podcast, do a bit of professional development done differently.
Shout out to Alia Eggins-Bryson, who called us in. She's a senior exec at Telstra, and she said, I want to do something different, Jack, for my team. She has a very big team in the Telstra business division. Mm-hmm. She said, I want a Keeping It Real live podcast. And so we said, what do you want us to talk about? Give us a topic, and unlocking potential was it. So shout out to you, Alia. Well done. But
They
others,
loved it.
they loved
got
it. We're
so
still
much
getting
feedback.
still getting great feedback, and it was very engaging, and people were able to ask questions, and they came away quite inspired. So if you're looking for something different from a team building or just, team engagement, team insights, learning, call us.
More interesting than just having a speaker come in and speak. You got us?
Absolutely. Right, Raoul, unlocking your potential. I would like to know, do you think you've achieved your potential?
Jesus, I have so achieved my potential. I've exceeded my potential, I think. It doesn't
humble as
mean
ever.
doesn't mean I'm not finished. But I reckon I've exceeded. No, so I don't think it's about humble. I just think seriously.
Oh, that's so good.
Well,
That's so good.
and I always go back to I'm the kid that failed English.
Can you remember
and
what
then
the school
published-
report said
Oh, my
about
school
you?
reports were
Pays no attention.
pays no attention to grammar, basic spelling, whatever. So what? Like, hey baby,
And can you
hire
remember
an
what
editor.
else they said?
My biggest burn was from my year 11 biology teacher, who was a nun, said I will not have a heart attack from overwork.
And which subject did you fail?
English and biology.
The irony.
I know.
And you're an author of 7 books, soon to be 8.
Could you imagine a nun or any teacher writing that on a school report these days?
They used to be
That would be
harsh.
bullying. If they did it now, it'd be bullying. I mean, Sister Dot, in fairness, God love her, she has passed away.
God love her.
Accurate, very accurate.
What, that you wouldn't have a heart attack due to overwork?
Why would you have a
I
heart
was going to
attack due
say,
to overwork?
I think
I'm with
that's
you,
it.
Sister Dot. Thank you.
That's a great one. So you reckon you've totally bloody exceeded your potential. I reckon I'm just warming up.
Yeah. Well, one day you'll get the opening to the podcast, right?
No, I don't know whether I will, because I don't see that as
don't want to.
unlocking my potential, quite frankly.
Because you've got someone that can do it for you.
Well, indeed.
Yeah.
That's why I've partnered up with a great co-host like you. What do you think has actually helped you achieve your potential?
Yeah, no, and I think there's a few things that will help you reach your potential, and one is not giving up on things.
So you can say not giving a flying.
No.
That too.
Not giving up. And I'm a firm believer, if something's not working, don't give up, but don't keep doing the same thing. So
Okay, so there's so what's
it's
the
sort
middle
of two
ground?
different things,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like, so
how
mix it
far?
up, try it up. It was like I love a quote. I love a quote. There's one quote that I really love, and it'll be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, it's not the end.
I love that.
Which means so you're going to try something, it's not going to work all the time.
No.
Don't just go, oh, tried that, didn't work. Just try something different.
Yeah. I used to work for an Asian woman in Singapore, and she used to say there are many ways to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Now, and that's not particularly a nice visual, but her point was that you can achieve an outcome from different strategies, different ways of doing things. And I think that's really important.
What's the other saying? The definition of stupidity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah, insanity.
So
Yeah, that's
don't just
true.
keep doing it, but don't give up.
No. So you have a goal or you have something you want to achieve, And if it's not working but you're so committed to that goal or you're determined to achieve it, then try a different way of achieving it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you reckon to help you achieve your potential, given you've bloody exceeded it, is don't give up but change it up.
Yep.
What else?
I think it's giving something a crack.
Yeah.
So before you're ready, just give it, and just give it a crack. What could be the
So that's
worst
about
thing
being open-minded, right? And just saying, well, actually, I'm going to look at this on a with a positive mindset and say, I'm going to try this. It might not work, but what if it does?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you think about what holds people back from reaching their potential, I think that's fundamentally the
Self-belief
fear
or lack
and
of
they
self-belief.
go, it's either what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
And so they don't do it based on
did?
what if it doesn't work. You go, well, what if it did? And they just, there's something that they just hold themselves back. And if you're holding yourself back from doing something, then you're not going to reach your potential.
So I was coaching the other day an awesome, awesome client, another favourite of mine, a new one. And we were drilling into this, the difference between her past and what her future will look like. Yeah. And the learnings and the lessons, because there had been plenty. And I said, what was it in the past? And she said it was a fear of failure. And I said, hang on, that's not enough. Let's go a bit deeper. What do we mean a fear of failure? And so what we got it back to was fear of being judged by others. So I said, okay, let's talk about those others. Who were those others? So she gave me a couple of names and I said, are those people in your life today? And she said, no.
That's interesting, isn't it?
And she said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I put so much weight on that thing of being judged by those people, when those people actually aren't that important to me. So being very mindful of those reasons why we don't put ourselves forward, why we're fearing the failure, why we're fearing being judged, and whether that will matter in the future.
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance
the
it
fear
won't.
of failure is a big one.
It's a big one.
I feel like I've got so many quotes coming out of me at the moment. But
You're a walking TikTok meme.
you get Strictly Ballroom, that movie.
Yep.
A life lived in
Sparkles.
fear is a life half lived.
Lived. It's a great
So
line.
it's a fear. And another quote, and I forget the source of this, but it's because a lot of people say to me, so are you scared of failure? I was like, no, because it's what's your
You couldn't
definition
be
of
where
failure?
you are today if you were.
And sometimes we'll go, well, if it doesn't work out, it's failing. Or if you're in a race, like you go for, let's just say like a physical race, right? And you don't come first. That's not. Some people see that as failure.
As failure.
It's not failure.
No. So I've got a son training for the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Yes. And he is pushing himself hard. He's on a calorie deficit. He's not drinking. He's in bed really early.
Not drinking.
He hasn't drunk all year. I know. What's wrong with him?
Gee,
Could
the
he be
apple does fall far from the tree.
The point is, he said to me, Mum, this training and the whole marathon is fraught with risk. I said, so what makes you keep going? He said, because even if I didn't get to the race, even if I have an injury, I have learned so much and I've achieved so much just getting to that point.
Yeah.
So it's that ability just to lock in and say, no matter what, I'm going to give this a crack.
Yeah.
And so that's about an optimistic, positive mindset and backing yourself, yeah? And recognising if you're not winning, you're learning.
Yes, and
you're
you
not
always
failing.
say that. And
You're
in
not
regards,
failing.
Louis with his son, he's putting it out there, and he's
He's very public about it. I mean, so many can knock him down and pull him down, and so many do. He doesn't let that stop him.
But the point is, and I agree with this, if you've got, you want to do and it could just be you want to do a 5K fun run, right? That's your goal. You're going to train for it. You're going to eat healthy. You're going to do all this stuff. And there might be a point where you get an injury and you just can't do it.
Correct.
Or you get halfway through and you have to walk the rest of the way. You're still in a better position
Than you were if you hadn't trained.
But that's not failure.
No.
So the quote I was going to say,
Reframe
and again, I don't know where this came from, it's the definition of failure is not having a go and not coming in first place.
Yeah.
The definition of failure is not having a go in the first
stop.
place. So not having to go in the first place is failure to me.
I agree.
If someone didn't,
Totally
if
agree.
you're not
Alex Hormozy
prepared
talks
to
about
give
this.
it a crack, then that's failing.
Couldn't agree more. All right. Unlocking your potential. We're fired up about this, yeah? So we have been described as very confident, yeah? Now, we have not always been very confident, and there are plenty of times where we are not feeling very confident, but what we do is back ourselves.
Yep.
And we say, we're going to give this a crack, and we're going to learn from it. And what is the worst that can happen?
Yes.
I think it's really important to, again, put some perspective into stuff. You know, the boss says, Jack, I want you to present the numbers to the global CEO. Jack goes, numbers. All she hears is numbers because she doesn't like numbers unless they're in her bank account and they've got lots of zeros on them. And she goes, oh, my goodness, all the things that can go wrong. I'm going to be exposed. What is he going to think of me? He'll be judging me. What about if Jack's been given enough time to prepare and she thinks about how she's going to come across and give this such a great crack that her personal brand is really strong and that the CEO goes, gee, she knows the numbers.
Is there any reason why you're talking about yourself in the third person?
Maybe it's easier. I don't know. That's a good question. But I've been in that situation where that's had to happen. And I know this particular global CEO was a crusty old bugger, but he had a sense of humour. He had a good sense of humour. So I thought, right, well, I'm definitely going to use some humour in here and make him remember me from that and that perspective. But I will set myself up for success. And if at the end of the day I bugger up the numbers or I do my best with the numbers and he still says, well, she sucks, well then so be it.
So what?
He's
learned.
that CEO in that job at that time. And have you guess what? I never hear from him today.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know I exist anymore.
One of the things I talk about in unlocking your potential is the stories you tell yourself, and
we've done an episode on that.
Yeah, we have, and like the fact that you just mentioned that example then around speaking and getting asked to speak, the stories you tell yourself and the stories you then verbalize to others. So, and I actually worked with a group of grads just the other week, and I shared my wisdom with them.
Oh, she's so wise.
And one of the things I said, if you want to get better at public speaking, for example, and you should try to get better at public speaking.
Great thing to improve on.
Yeah. If you are the person that goes, I really get nervous at public speaking, and you're constantly going, I hate public speaking.
And telling people that.
As opposed to the person that says, I want to get better at public speaking.
And I can be good at public speaking.
The reality is the same for both of you.
Yeah.
You don't like public speaking. You get nervous or anxious every time, but you want to get better. Yeah. So that's the same reality. You can say, I hate public speaking, I always get nervous, or I want to get better at public speaking. You're not lying. No one's lying. It's a different reality.
Great
and then the point
right?
is too, if I'm your manager and an opportunity comes up to speak and someone's saying, I want to get better at public speaking, and someone says, I hate doing it, I'm going to give that opportunity to the person
who says, I want to be better.
Yeah, which means they're getting more opportunities.
Absolutely.
By default now they're getting better at public speaking.
So don't say you hate public speaking. Just say, I want to get better at it.
So that's
reframing.
Yes, they're unlocking their potential.
Correct.
And just the compound effect of that over 10 years' time.
Yeah. Totally right.
Yeah.
So one of the ways of unlocking your potential is also being really clear about what you want to be known for, what you want to be good at, yeah? So this comes back to a bit of personal brand. Scott Galloway talks about this. Don't follow your passions. Follow what you're good at because you'll do well, yeah? You can unlock your potential with what you do well. If you are somebody who does great strategy, maybe you're a brilliant brand marketer, maybe you're an incredible, financial controller, whatever it is that you do really well and you believe that you can unlock more potential, then put it out there. Find mentors, get coaches, suggest what your next goal might be, but don't stop striving and continue to back yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, nobody else is going to.
You just mentioned then, put it out there, have mentors, coaches or whatever. I think one of the really important factors of unlocking your potential is the people you surround yourself.
Totally.
And your environment. Now, we did a whole, we've done so many episodes on touching this, but we did an episode on the 3 most important relationships in your life.
Correct.
And one of that is you, and one was your partner. So you, and then your leader, right? You could imagine if you're thinking, I want to, let's just do, I want to run a marathon.
Yep.
If your partner is going, you could never do that. You're just going to embarrass yourself. I bet you don't finish it, whatever.
Awful.
There's part of it that's going to be going, oh, maybe I won't.
Awful.
As opposed to, oh my God, yeah, all right, whatever. That'll be good. I could train with you.
Totally.
I'm going to be,
supportive.
You're going to Boston.
That's right.
To watch your son
run
and be a support for your marathon.
It's inspiring.
So it's your environment. And again, if you're in an environment where people aren't supportive, they're not going to help you reach your potential, and whether that's in personal or professional.
Correct. You just mentioned something, and I've been meaning to talk to you about this for a long time, and I've just remembered. In fact, I'm going to write a post on it. The 3 most important relationships. You know the most important relationship that we didn't discuss? The relationship with yourself.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to write something on that.
It's a podcast episode.
It's a podcast, and we will do something as well.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Oh, stop it. You're careful. The point being, it's in your mindset. You're right.
Yeah.
And you can choose who you surround yourself with. Yeah?
Yes.
And so note the knockers, right? Note the people saying you can't do that, you're unlikely to do that, slime remarks that might poo-poo you, and note the people that go, oh, yeah, you can do that. Oh, I think that's a fabulous goal. Oh, I'll come with you. Oh, I'll support you.
Yeah.
Because that is absolutely everything.
Yeah. And there's some people that aren't doing this in a bad way. It's reflective of them. Where they almost, don't push yourself, and they want to keep you safe.
Yeah.
But by default of helping keeping people safe is keeping them down.
Correct.
And that's more reflective on their attitude.
Their
that
fear of
they
failure.
wouldn't
Their
do
fear
that.
of being
They're a
judged.
fear of failure, and they don't want.
That's right.
That they're thinking of all the things that could go wrong, and they don't want it to go wrong for
Mindset
you.
again.
But you sort of got to go, yeah, I think that's more about you.
Absolutely.
And again, like if you've got an idea, go to people that will go, that still care for you.
Absolutely.
And they don't, if they think you really can't do it, they probably won't say it, but they'll go, let's think of some ways to minimise the risk, for example.
Yep.
But you can decide who you surround yourself with.
Totally right. So moving from dreaming to doing, yeah? So some people you talk to, got any goals for this year? Oh, I'm so tired, Jack. I can't even think about a goal. Oh, fair enough. That's probably how you're feeling right now. But quite frankly, if you are so tired that you don't have things that you are looking forward to doing or things that might stretch or challenge you, you might want to stop and wonder why you're so tired and whether there's a way of reprioritising. So there are many ways to unlock your potential, but it all starts with your mindset.
Yep.
And then putting yourself in the right environment.
Yep.
And then saying, I actually don't care if this doesn't work because I would have learned or gained something from it. I think that's the key takeaways.
Oh, my God, if we were scared of things not working, we wouldn't do anything.
True.
You wouldn't try a new meal to cook.
Podcast.
Yes, exactly.
You wouldn't be sitting here right now next to me.
No.
If I hadn't have met you and given you a crack at work with your workshop, I wouldn't have said, wow, that's amazing. I need to tell more people about what you do. It's true, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is true.
Just cultivate confidence in yourself and cultivate confidence in others and give things a crack.
Yeah.
Everyone can be unlocked when it comes to their potential.
And challenging yourself. Again, we did a whole podcast episode on that too, that you can have
I like that aim, fire, ready.
Yeah, so
That's a
one of the
good
ones we talk
one.
about, like ready. What do people say?
Ready, aim, fire.
Yeah. But it's like aim, fire,
Ready.
because you'll never be ready.
No, so just aim and just have a go.
Just have a go.
Start.
Give it a crack.
Just
Give it a crack.
start.
So
All right.
okay, so tips and techniques. Have we done this?
Unlocking your potential.
Individuals.
Mindset mastery, recognising you can overcome self-doubt, imposter syndrome and limiting beliefs. It's what you tell yourself. Be careful about the stories you tell yourself.
Yep.
Get yourself around people that also support you unlocking your potential. Be clear on what it is that you want to do. If you're not clear on what it is you want to do, then spend some time thinking about that, yeah? And unlocking your potential doesn't have to be huge. It might be a small thing. It might be I want to lose some weight. It might be I want to get healthier. It might be I want to read more and broaden my mind.
No, you're right. And sometimes it's the little things like that you do will build up to big things.
Correct.
And just when you said the stories you tell yourself, it's also those stories you tell yourself will be the stories you share with others. And it's just like, why do it?
Yep. So encourage people and absolutely unlock that potential. You've got it. Everyone has potential.
Yeah. And be that person, whether you're a leader or a good friend or a good parent. Encourage people.
Yeah, be positive.
Don't be the one that keeps bringing people down or,
That says more about you than it does about them.
about you.
All right, there we are. Another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Rael, unlocking your potential. We believe in you. We see you have huge potential and we would love to hear how you might unlock your potential.
There's a good way you can unlock your potential.
Here we go.
I am like the queen of segues. No, I've said it before, said it again. You know,
Finally.
we are getting very close to Fiji.
What if we've already filled the spots by the time this goes live? We'll take spots for
Unlocking potential.
immersions.
Fiji, it's all, you know what, when you look at the basis of our 3-day immersion in Fiji, it's helping you unlock your potential.
Executive
That's
presence,
what it's about.
power of storytelling, the water you carry, mentoring,
Personal
coaching,
branding.
personal branding,
Networking.
dinners, laughter,
Cocktails.
insights,
Cocktails.
tropical island cocktails. Come with us.
Okay, team, keepers, if again, rate, share, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jack Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keehlan Ferrari-Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.